and I swear I can feel the clouds in my ears. No. Okay. Well, today is October 31st. It is 3 p.m. This is Domain to Profit. I am Drew Wash. These are my traditional Halloween costume, in fact, for like over 10 years now. My wife is Minnie and I am Mickey. And yeah, so that'll be on later on tonight. No, I will not keep them on the entire time. But yeah, for like over 10 years, I've been Mickey, and it's like in honor of my grandma who used to love Mickey Mouse. So just kind of a tradition that's kept up. So I was just over on, let me see, I was over on GoDaddy watching this domain name. So it's wrapping up probably, possibly, as of this point, which is Renaissance Fair. This one's with an E. I just saw renaissancefair.com end without the E. So the way I would spell it, Renaissance Fair, ended under $2,000. I bid on it a little bit. I think I was probably number 2 bid. It's kind of typically how it works. And then the one with the E, still going strong, over $2,700. Why with an E at the end? Renaissance Fair with an E is more expensive than without. I don't know. But if by chance you're joining us live and you wanted to get in on that, go for it. Go for it, Renaissance Fair. So that was that's a fun little auction that's ending right now. And I didn't even notice those domains last week. It's weird how some weeks you catch them, other weeks you don't. So it is what it is. Well, I'm really hoping that we get some good domain names here. Domain to Profit, where we look through expiring domain names that are going to be available to you. Those domain names, those great domain names that you like check to see if they're available, they're never available. It's just how it works. Somebody beat you to it. Well, they do become available if somebody lets them expire, and we go through the list looking for them, and we find some great domain names like renaissancefair.com, which is wrapping up right now. So that's pretty cool. So it would have been nice to, it's a little outside of what I would be interested in, but I know there's Renaissance fairs, Renaissance festivals around the U.S. and the world, so could have been fun. Well, I am going to wake up a little bit and get the energy going. You get your renaissancefair.com just ended. There we go. I was stalling. See, 303 just ended Renaissance Fair, and I did. Why doesn't it show the final price? I think it was $27.74 or something like that. $27.74. Okay. Anyhow. So there you go. That's exactly, well, that's not exactly how it goes, but that's how it can go. If you find a domain name you love, you can bid on it, get it, and you could be the owner of whatever the domain name we'll look through. We'll look through all those. But first, this is a live show, so make sure you let us know you're here. Say hi to everybody in the chat. And we got a great community that nerds out over domain names. So lots of expertise joins us here in the chat each week. So make sure you kind of make connections. And, well, I will get things going. Make sure you also let me know, hey, what's your spookiest domain name, your Halloween domain name? We can check out those just after this right here.
From domain to profit, from a .com to a business idea. Take a domain name, develop an income from domain to profit. We'll show you how. Domain to profit, from domain to profit. Join Drew Wash and get started right now.
Okay, well, I have spookyspot.com. That was one of the ones that I got. I thought I'd develop it at some point, so I don't know. We'll see. I maybe not. I got a buddy. Actually, he joins us on stream pretty frequently. Coaster G. He does a haunted house every Halloween. In fact, he's there right now setting up. Him and his brothers do this yearly, so that's where I'm going to be going with my 7-year-old daughter for Halloween. It's kind of a fun one around here. Well, where is everybody, Bill? I think they came in after you, but you were the first comment. Welcome, Bill. Nice to have you. Domain Explorer, welcome. Matt, hello. I won't say howdy because it's not a howdy, but hello. And let's see here. Jeffrey, what do we got here? Can't wait to see Minnie. Yeah, Minnie is. She actually is not dressing up tonight. Can you believe that? Like, I'm like, you're not dressing up for Halloween? We dressed up for all the costume parties, but not for Halloween. I'm wearing these though. I'm not too proud. She would liven up the show a little bit though. Kevin, howdy. Happy Halloween indeed. It's a fun little holiday for sure. Kevin, SoCal check-in, and Ian, nice to have you as well as each of you that come in after this point. We're glad to have you again. Ears off, but we had them on for a little bit. I was fun for a little bit. Now it's time to get down to business, which is domain names. So for the domain names, we will go out to here, which is expireddomains.net. You can likely see that up in the URL. It is expireddomains.net, and we will use this website to look through these expired domain names. I save all my searches so that way I can see them later. But if you're new here, yours is going to look a little bit different. Set up a free account and then come in to Marketplace Domains, GoDaddy, Expired Domains, and then we only look at .com domains, get rid of hyphens, get rid of numbers, English 1 to 3 words, and voila, you end up with the list approximately that you're going to see here, 94,000 domain names. We got to get busy looking through these because, to be quite honest, I was my pre-search. It was looking pretty weak again this week. Last week I was not impressed, and this week I'm also not all that impressed with the domain names we have happening, but that's okay. There are some good ones though, like Botcoin. Like that's like you can use that as maybe a typo type domain name. You could use it as a typo domain, or for Bitcoin, obviously. But then also you could create Botcoin. That domain name though is already up over, let's see, up over $5,000. Oh, and when you are on this list, we will order by valuation, which I believe shows up here. Valuation is not the actual value of the domain name. Think of it more as the estimated value. Just order it by it. That's what we just order it by. It brings some domains at the top. It doesn't mean they're good ones, as you'll see here. Because in theory, these are the best domain names, and I find that in most cases, we skip over a whole lot of them. So, David, see you popping in. Fred, thank you for complimenting the ears. They say that your ears and your nose are the two things that keep growing your entire life. So, Ballbearing, if you're desperate for a domain name that is an actual item, ballbearing.com. I am not. I'm going to skip over that. Royal Collection sounds like a brand. Yeah. Click Jobs. We Repair. Let's check that one out a little bit. This sounds like a small business type of domain name, something that you can put out there like, hey, werepair.com. Let's check out SpyFu. This is part 2 of the sites that you're going to want to pull up, expireddomains.net, for the lists that allow you to see all the domain names, as GoDaddy Expired especially. But then you can go over to spyfu.com, and SpyFu is where we kind of analyze the domain name, look at the keyword, because we are looking for domain names that are color by number. There's an outline on canvas, and then there's numbers, and we just have to, like, hey, 13 is for red, and we just do red. And then 12 is blue, and we just color it in. The domain name is going to tell us what we want. So, for example, We Repair. What do you expect that domain name to be? Probably repair services, right? For what kind of product service? It's a little bit open. It's open. So only 44 people searching for the actual keywords We Repair. But let's try to do a Control F and see if there's other stuff here. So I did a Control F on my keyboard, and that is going to allow me to highlight where We Repair. So that's our exact domain name. WeRepair.com is the domain. Drop the .com, We Repair. And we do see some of it popping up. We Fix It, phone repair, 1300. We Fix It, I believe, is a brand. company already. You drop, we repair. How can we repair a garage door? So you can kind of see how can we repair a garage door when it's hit by a car. I've done that before. Luckily, my repair was not a big deal, just needed an adjustment. But you can see that people are searching for different phrases, different questions that include we repair. That's kind of what we look for. That's the general gist of it. However, part two of this is where's the money, right? Where's the money for this domain name? And that's where we come down here to the section that or that SpyFu has for us, that Google data, where it says the cost per click is $6. So there's money there in theory. And I say in theory because the number of advertisers is 0. So this right here, 0. That means there's really not anybody paying that money. When they do, maybe it gets competitive, maybe it's seasonal or something. But for the most part, there's not a lot of competition for this domain name. And that's not, we want to see competition. We want to see people battling it out. I say blood in the water over the keyword of our domain name, because that means we can put something basic up on the site and ask the different advertisers to pay to be involved in it. But there's no advertisers. There's nobody there to pay us. If a domain name gets a good cost per click, but nobody pays it, does it really make money? And the answer is no. It wasn't a perfect analogy. Global citizenship, not a bad domain, but ideal job. It sounds like a job for Peter Askew, who develops some job sites. Ideal job, I think he has cooljobs.com or something like that. Ideal job, a little mellow. Maybe you can do a personality test and somehow match somebody to a job. That'd be kind of fun. $685 is that one currently. 1 day left on idealjob.com. Fun little domain name. I don't really mess with job boards, but if you're a job board person, somebody out there is looking for their ideal job. Let's see if it shows up in the search feature of spyfu.com. And this is it, right? This is it. Keyword, search, data, 630 people looking each month for the keyword ideal job. Why does that matter? It matters because your domain name is going to get some type-in traffic. These are people that are actually typing in idealjob.com, but then also your domain name is going to give you an opportunity to create the search engine optimization to get those 630 visitors. How does that work? Someday maybe we'll do a show on it. I don't really care to, except for I will tell you there used to be, as it was a domain name, it mattered a lot. In some of the smaller search engines, it still does. But what happens is people link to you and they use your domain name, not just in the href piece of your domain name, but when you label it, they say idealjob.com or whatever, that ends up giving you exact match keywords in their links. Kind of naturally just adds up to a better search engine, especially if you do the work to do it. It doesn't happen like instantly, but it does. You're in a better position to show up for the keyword ideal job. Advertisers, so there's one person paying it. I like to see advertisers at double digits. We're not seeing it with this currently, but we do see part two of the puzzle, which is we like to see the cost per click to be up over $2. So let's see here. I'm going to do a Control F. I do the Control F just to highlight our domain name being ideal job. We want to find where ideal job is used in other keyword sets. Exactly ideal job. You don't want them split up. Let's see here. For example, this one here, ideal image jobs. Like that's not, while we target that keyword, we can't like count on that keyword being as easy to target as what we could say, for example, describe your ideal job, idealjob.com. If you create content on your site that is like how people can maybe do a personality survey or something describing their ideal job, and you create a personality or a ideal job profile, well, if you use the keywords describe your ideal job, you have a chance of picking up this keyword here. So this 360 extra visitors if you create great engaging content on your domain name. So that's why I like to see our actual keyword used. Not seeing any really great ones, but there are several hundred other keywords that you'll see all through here, all these other hundreds of searches where the our keyword appears in the yellow over here, means we can target it. I like it. It's an option. Not going to bid on it personally, but you know, it's out there. You can certainly go for it. See a question. It looks like Fred is asking or answering a little bit, which I love seeing everybody. It's asking, what hosting would you suggest to use? I use HostGator, but I don't want to go back to them. I am a complicated mess. This is part of why I don't really go into what our developer stack is too much. We actually use Microsoft Azure. It's cloud hosting, super technical. We do a bunch of advanced stuff, but we are a development company as of this point. But yeah, like Fred was mentioning, WordPress is pretty common. There's lots of hosting places out there that will do WordPress hosting. But yeah, that's not something we do. We actually build our own system, which I'm guessing, we'll see how these domains go. I can show you a little bit of what we're actually in the work of, or working on. I posted a little bit on Twitter last week. We have a system that's kind of starting to develop customer websites and stuff. It's fun stuff. Sooner or later, we'll offer it out to the world, but don't wait for us. I say that all the time. Don't wait for us. Perfect car. So we have the ideal job, the perfect car. I don't think there is a perfect car. I am definitely not a car guy. Mentorly, NFT Social, Buy Wines. So I did see, I don't know if they show up in, yeah, they kind of show up in a group here. There are quite a few buy domains. So these are these domains like Buy Wines, Buy Prints, Buy Medicine. There's a group of them. They're all over here at 2 Cows. So that's one of those registrars like Enum that could pull back the domain name before it actually finishes the auction. Probably not going to talk about those domain names, but I think we actually talked about them last year around this time. But there are some good domain names. I like the keyword buy medicine, buy wines. I like it because it's action. The only thing is these domains I don't believe will actually go through the auction process. They are just somebody out there kind of testing. Add them to your watch list and bid on them late if you do actually want to go for them. But I'm not going to give them any exposure. I don't think they're actually going to complete. There's one of them that I already added to my watch list, which was buyequipment.com. I believe I've added it to my watch list every single year, every time I see it. That domain name is one that I would like to get, but I doubt I will. We'll see. Okay, let me see here. Viral Shorts asking about the stream quality. I'm not sure. I don't see any stream quality issues, but maybe somebody else is. You may need to refresh or something. Do you need a special ranking software add-on for WordPress to rank for the question in SpyFu? You write content. Okay. When it comes to the actual specific, I don't know WordPress, so I'm not a WordPress person, but I am an SEO guy. My background, how I got into web development and stuff, is search engine optimization. And I will tell you, if you want to show up for a question, so just like we saw here on SpyFu, if you want to show up for these questions that appear like here, these questions, which I say this is your content. If you own idealjobs.com, what are you going to put on it? Well, if you see your domain name showing up over here, how would you describe your ideal job? What is your ideal job? Answer these questions on your website, and it gives you a chance to do it. But it's all about content. There may be plugins, there may be tools to help you kind of hack Google a little bit, but ultimately it's going to come down to who does it best, who answers the question the best. Well, at least that's what it should do. It should be based on who does it best. That's what I always said. I always aim for doing it best. If you want to hack Google and maybe you can get lucky and do some little hacks and rank for it for a while, that's up to you. I don't recommend doing it. A lot of people have success with it. It's a temporary solution. Wouldn't it be better just to create a website that allows you to target that keyword, answer that question the best out of anybody, and then you show up there because you deserve it and you'll be there forever. So that's kind of what I always go for longevity. Little bursts of traffic don't really do much for anybody. That's probably not helpful, but if it is, that's good. And let me see, do you like keyword buy? Keyword buy also. I do like buyequipment.com. Like that's one that I would love to get. If you get buyacar.com, if it's a phrase that you use a lot, the buy is it's a purchase keyword. Purchase keywords are great keywords to have. So I like the idea of purchase keywords. I love action, especially if you're going beyond 2 keywords or 2 words. I want the third word to be a action word. So buy classic cars, buy medicine, click or call, like action words to go with my other 2 keywords. That's if I'm going above 2 keywords. But I don't mind the word buy. I think it's a pretty good one. It's pretty good. I own some buy domains. I don't really know what they are off the top of my head, but I have put my money where my mouth is on that. I don't make any money off of them though, so that probably matters. That's probably helpful information. Yet I don't make money off of them. Buy nuts, Defense Cloud, US Local. Okay, keep on moving. Love the questions, keep them coming, as well as if you see a domain name that I am skipping. Like the fact that I missed Renaissance Fair last week is embarrassing. It makes me sad that I did not get it. Last week was a weird week though. We looked at the dropped auctions quite a bit. Here's that buy equipment domain name. I'll just pull it up real quick. Let's look at it. I already have it on my watch list, or at least it should be. I don't know why it's not. Added it again. Okay, so here's why I like this one, and we'll use this one to analyze a little bit the keyword. So 110 searches, but what you'll see is buy shows up quite a bit in this middle section. So right now we're talking about equipment, but prior to me pulling this up, I was thinking buy equipment as in heavy duty or contractor type equipment. I didn't even think about baseball equipment, gym equipment, medical equipment. Boom. This is why we use this kind of tool, to get that data, to see that there's more happening with these keywords than what we realize. If you focus specifically on the idea that, hey, it's 110 monthly searches for buy equipment, you're going to miss out on all this stuff here, like buy baseball equipment. If I do a Control F, just to keep myself honest with this, now you'll see Control F, we're really not seeing anything. It's not highlighting a bunch of questions. It's not highlighting a bunch of keywords. So we can't count on getting this content here as easily as what we could if all this was highlighted. If it was buy equipment baseball, buy equipment medical, then that would be great for us. But in fact, when we look at this, it's buy keyword equipment, you can target these, but it's not going to be as clear-cut a victory. But if I'm not mistaken, well, we got some advertisers here, 97 cents. Again, I like to see advertisers double digits, cost per click over $2. Not setting any record with that, but I do like the domain name. I want it still. We'll see if I ever manage to get it. American football betting. So there's another one, buy appliances. We've seen these. I know for a fact we've seen these. You guys see CBD gummies? That was a big one that ended last week. That was another one I don't think we saw it on the stream, but CBDgummies.com ended over the weekend. That one went for big money. I think I was going to be in for up to like 13, 14,000, but it ended up going for like 40,000 or something like that. In fact, let me go look it up before I. So I'm going to NameBio. Shout out to namebio.com. This is a site that keeps track of auctions. So if they can find the price, they find it, boom, they put it out here. As well as they also, you can report and record private party ones. I don't even know what the heck I'm talking about. $61,000 for the domain name cbdgummies.com. Maybe we did actually talk. Did we talk about that last week? I can't remember. But cbdgummies.com ended up for $61,000, aka 4 times what I was anywhere close to doing. Pretty good domain though. Oh man. Did I mention like the rain was moving in here and it just kills me. I feel it. Like it just is, yeah, it's like laying on me like a wet blanket. It just drags me to the ground and says, it's not time to go live on your stream. It's time to take a nap is what it's telling me. Oh, look at that, buy pizza. It would be so cool if these domains actually were available. Buypizza.com. I would never want to own a pizza website, but that's a pretty fun one. Let me zoom back out so I can actually get more domains up here. Here we go. Come on, give us something good. Wild success. I saw smellsgood.com. I don't see it yet. Data cleanup. That used to be a thing. I don't think it's as big of a deal. Although I was talking about, I was just saying to my wife, like, hey, you know, we got like this drive here and this drive here full of all these old photos. Let's send this out to somebody like a virtual assistant or something and have them organize these photos so we can do a data cleanup. But more for me, it's more about getting the photos in one place. What in the world is this? Okay, here we go. Okay, so we are still ordered by evaluation. Let's see if we can get some good domains showing up here. Energy, energy, energy. Show performance. So anybody out there have a good scary domain name? And see if anybody, like ideally.com. I get it though if you don't. I know not everybody is as crazy of a .com guy as I am. We all got to start somewhere. I don't know why you would have a scary domain name. I guess realistically, they're probably not as easy to develop. I got Spooky Spot because, like I said, you know, we used to do haunted houses and stuff all the time. Me and all my friends go out to the haunted houses, check them out. We just don't do it anymore. Maybe someday. Cache request. I think I'd prefer to be request cache. Pudding Club. Hey man, we're gonna be in the Pudding Club. Okay, come on. We require a good domain name to show up like right now. Business copywriter? Oh, it's an enom. Of course. Play with my emotions. If you see one that I'm missing and you're willing to share it, feel free to call out. FAQ online. I don't like the word online. I think you hear that pretty much every week. There's a couple times that I don't mind it. Perfect Packers. Perfect Packers. Paul picked a pack of perfect Packers. Peter, I guess. Peter. buy motorcycles. Whoever's portfolio that is with all their, they have a lot of good buy domain names. If they actually get, like, hopefully they would sell them versus let them expire. But weird things happen at times. We're going to page 3, folks. We haven't made it to page 3 in quite some time. Advanced account. Advanced account. Are you into this? .com? Like, that's what we need to do. We just need to sit around. We need like a the best domain name pun show. Just come up with different puns as we go through all this. Or something like that. Plan bag. Executive brands. Sounds like a brand. Brandable domain. Not really my bag. Twig app. You know, some of these. So let's scroll out a little bit. All these domains are appraised at a valuation over $2,000. Would you pay $2,000 for rawjourney.com? Vistosmart.com? Yeah, either with these people. That's why they wouldn't even pay $10. That's why they're expiring. If you pick up their trash like that, you got to use the data. Equip repair. I'm going to add that to my watch list. It's an eNom one, but as you likely know, I like to keep an eye on this stuff, partly just for me, because I do buy domains a lot. I don't know if I like Equip repair, but, you know, we'll see. Nobody's bidding on it yet. I'm guessing because it's eNom, it's not actually going to expire. But if it does, I'll have a couple hundred in on it. Feminine presence. You know, I'm quite the procrastinator, but maybe I'll join tomorrow. It's like that's the procrastination club. Join us now is if you weren't a procrastinator, or join tomorrow. It's never tomorrow, though. Well, it's always tomorrow, but tomorrow's never today if your domain name's join tomorrow. Makes sense, right? They all can't be winners, folks. I feel like we've had 2. I'll tell you what, we have 3 tough shows in a row. It might be time to record these things versus doing live. I'm only moderately funny, moderately entertaining. I need good domain names, otherwise we're all in trouble. Stop spread. Complete managed. These are horrible. Everybody's doing way too good of a job keeping their domains. Suckers, let them go. Okay, wait. QuickToll? QuickToll.com? Oh, that sounds like it could be a product or service. Okay, let's go diving in for some cheap domain names. How can we do this? Let's go. I'm going to change our filters. I want to look. Let's find some. We'll max our price out at $80. We're going to switch this down to domains that end in the next 2 days. We're going to apply the filter. And let's see. I want to do one thing also that I haven't done before. I want to try this. I figured I'd try it live. I want to only look for GoDaddy. Actually, let's just say daddy or dad. So what that's doing is, there you go. So now we only see the registrar domains here that are GoDaddy. That was just something I was going to play with. We'll see what happens. So now we're looking at modified the filter. So we are looking at GoDaddy domain names still, expired GoDaddy domains, but we are looking for domain names that end over the next 2 days and have a max bid of $80. So we're kind of budget looking. We're just looking, if the domain names are going to kind of suck, which they have for the first few pages, let's look for some cheap suckers, right? Makes sense. Myfootwear.com. Reasonable. In fact, let's go check that one out. I know a few people that that actually like will buy shoes and then clean them up and sell them or whatnot. So very few searches for the exact keyword, and no highlighting happening, no money. So maybe it's more of a blog type domain name, but that could be a pretty good domain, right? Like if you're dealing in shoes and you're actually selling them on eBay or something, realistically, myfootwear.com is a damn good domain name for you to have, and right now it's pretty cheap. So after this page, we'll try a page of these kind of lower price domains, and then we will move over to some of the other domain names. We'll go check out, we will check out Dropcatch like we did last week, as well as we can check maybe Snap Names and a couple others. I'm searching, folks. We're searching. We're on search. Looking through expired domain names, currently GoDaddy domains ending the next 2 days. Captive, nah. Buy, sell, add, nah. Healthcare contracts. Oh, man. Throw thee in thy water, throw thee in thy stew. You're not keeping it casual if you have to use casual twice. I got nothing, peeps. Okay. Drop solar. Okay, let's try this. Let's get some luck going. Ears on. Up, page down, not up. Got my antennas up. Maybe that's what I needed. Crimes against kids. Interesting subject, I guess. I do something good on the domain. And bank account today. The Coin Museum. Sounds fascinating. Not really. That sounds kind of horrible. I like the ears. I dig them. I gotta like squat down as I'm doing it, otherwise they get cut off. Technology issues. Let's go check out Dropcatch. Oh, we gotta reset our filters. And when we're over at Dropcatch, I believe I order by price. Yes. Order by price. And we want to see dropped, which we do. And now we are looking through dropcatch.com domain names. These are domain names that we talked about last week. Dropcatch grabs those domain names and then puts them up for auction if more than one person bids on or has requested that domain name. I got to go do some filters, though, because I don't want hyphens. I don't want numbers. I still want to keep it to English, 1 to 3 words. And then we're going to this additional tab, which I believe you can see this. We're going to .com. .com. And then we're applying that. And now we're back at it. And that got rid of a lot of domain names, which is what I like. I like much different. It is indeed. Marketing Juice. Marketingjuice.com. Plagiarizer. I got nothing. I thought that was an actual thing, maybe. Oh yeah. Well, we're under the private sellers, and I don't want to look at seller domains. Okay. Well, let's keep on moving on. We will go to Snap Names. So now we'll go up here to this middle section, Snap Names, pre-release domains. Continuing on. So now with this, what I want to do is I'm going to order by the register, this middle column, the number of top level domain names that are registered for that keyword. So medicalcenter.com, that's not bad. Let's click on that. See, there we go. Okay, so here's how these works. This, I forgot I had the ears on. So this is how these work here. So when you're dealing with snap names or namejet domain names, the domain names, you have to join the auction. You have to say you're willing to pay at least $69 to even get in the auction. So in this case, medicalcenter.com, we'll check out the keyword. I'm glad that we found this one. This is kind of fun. We are going to go over to SpyFu. I typically avoid medical domain names, but as you can see, this one's not bad. Kills me having the ears on. 4,900 searches for medicalcenter.com, and we will do a Control F. Go back up to the top of the page. Look at that. That is freaking huge. This is exactly the kind of thing we want to see. We want to see Control F, Medical Center, highlight everything, and in case, boom, let me get out of the way, everything's highlighted, right? You see that? Lots of Boston Medical Centers, Tufts, like everything's a medical center. And this is what I like to see. Medical Center near me, over 12,000 searches for that one. This is a good domain name. So at least the keyword data is looking good. We also see lots of content potential over here with these questions. And as we scroll down, let's see if there's any money. Not setting any records. Cost per click is $1.57, but we only have one person really paying it. And I'm always kind of curious, what the heck is home pages? Home pages, we look at the top 50 organic results and count the home pages that rank. A domain name's home page, root domain, in the search results would be IMDb versus IMDb movies, general rule, home pages. So that has to do more with whether it's easy to rank or not. So, blah. Okay. So Medical Centers is the domain name. Where the heck fell? The mic fell down. I was dancing around too much. Okay. Well, I had really good information. Sorry I didn't see your chat until it was too late. We were looking over, the mic had fallen down. So, but medicalcenter.com is where we are. That's over on Snap Names. And I am going to go ahead and add this one because it is, and I don't want you to see my super secret user account information for Snap Names. So give me 1 second here. And, okay. I don't know. I don't really care if you see it, but so now I am over on Snap Names. I added it to my cart. Now, this is what I was talking about. In order to even join into the auctions here, you have to be willing to pay the money. So basically what I did was join the domain name. I added it to my cart, logged into the account. Now, here's an important thing to know if you are going to bid on a domain name over on Snap Names or NameJet, and that is you have to be approved, I believe, to go above $3,600 or something. What that means is you have to do a little extra to show them that you're capable of paying for a domain name over that price. So keep that in mind if you believe the domain name is going to go for some big money. Right now, there's really nobody, it's not showing anybody in that one. So, here it is. Order dates by November. So basically that one probably won't even, I was all excited for no reason. Sorry about the mic thing. It fell down. My Prince, not bad. So here's what I need to do actually on this. I need to go back to my filters and I need to say it ends in, we'll do 10 days. Did you guys hear my stomach growling when it fell down into my shirt? So it was like down by my stomach. It's like, what is going on with Drew? Code test. Code test could be a good one, reasonable domain. Base spa movie key. Okay. I'm not really seeing knit kits. That's not bad. Seems like a fun little domain. In fact, let's go check that one out. Let's go check out knit kits. So that one, it says order by date was yesterday. I'm not sure what's up with that. Let's see if it has some keyword data. Medical centers would be a good one. Unfortunately, I wouldn't count on that one actually ending. Since it won't be going to auction for a couple weeks. So the knit kit, knitting kits, 1,800 searches, 100 for knit kit. This one could be fun if you are into knitting or want to sell packaged together knitting kits. Not very high on the cost per click, but that actually kind of happens with typical products. Products are usually lower. That's why a lot of times I look for services. Advertiser says 9. So there are people competing for the keyword knit kit. So that's good to see. Let's go see highlighting the keyword. Learn to knit kits for adults, 340. So there's a little bit of traffic. So maybe you're looking for a product. Maybe you're into knitting and want to put together kits. There you go, knitkits.com. Could be an option. Not something I'm interested in, but maybe you are. Debt Buster. That's not a bad domain name. So this is November 5th is when this one in. And as you can see on Snap Names here, it's a little light, a little hard to see. They show you a little bit of information. This one's coming from register.com. SDBot is, think of it like GoDaddy gives us that valuation. SDBot, same thing. That is not the price of the domain name. That is not what this domain name is worth. It is just simply giving you something to kind of go like, hey, here's a number. If we were to order by that, it would be helpful, but we are not able to over here. I wonder if Debt Buster is a keyword. Sounds more like a brandable type thing. Okay, here we go. So there is a little bit of, so at least we have some money. So let me show you the money happening here. So did Control F, Debt Buster Chicago. Now that likely means this is somebody's trademarked brand. Who knows if it's actually trademarked or not? I'm not sure. Mr. Debt Buster, again, seems like somebody's brand, but there are some debt busters happening here. Is Debt Busters legit? This is not something I would ever mess with, but maybe you're interested in it. And here's one of the reasons you might be interested in it. This section here, boom, 12 advertisers paying up to $4.32. So that's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to see. That means there's a dozen people that are targeting this keyword and paying money. They're competitive. They're trying to get the customers that are looking for this. So certainly worth looking at for the development purposes. So if you're aggressive, go for it. Go for it. Grievances. So some of these, we'll see. What marketing project? It sounds like fun. It sounds like in my arena. Did I click on it? Did it open? What's going on here? So this one's October 31st. So in theory, this one's tonight. In theory, I say, because we just don't know. GoDaddy's a well-oiled machine. Some of these other ones, not so much. One advertiser paying a little bit. I like to see it more. Marketingproject.com, though, what could you do with it? There's a lot you can do with it. You can put together a database of people that are putting like marketing funnels together to kind of like, hey, if you have this kind of service, here's a funnel that you can use. Here's where you could do it, or you can even hire me to do it. Manage your marketing project on marketingproject.com. 220 monthly searches for Marketing Project, and that is not horrible. Now we're doing a Control F, marketing. Okay, this is kind of what I was thinking about here. So we got 750 searches, marketing project manager. There you go, it could be. So this is essentially what you want your website to automate, right? You want to automate the marketing project manager role as much as possible. Marketing project manager remote is this one down here, a little bit going on there. So now you can maybe have job listings for marketing managers, or have consultants that can come in and do remote work to manage marketing campaigns through marketingproject.com, something like that. It depends on how crazy you want to get. I think there's easier domain names to develop, but at least you can kind of see if you're into marketing, which I am into marketing, and I'm really not all that interested in this domain name, but I will add it to my cart. Why not? Why not? I'd probably bid on that one a little bit. Okay, grievances. There's some other good ones showing up here. These are actually pretty good for a name. Jeffrey's mentioning the filters. I can show more on these filters. These filters are actually, it's really the reason why we use expireddomains.net is 100% about the filters. I used to download all the domain lists using SDBot. You can pay for SDBot. They get all the lists, you put them in a spreadsheet. And I had all these programs and things that would look to all the domain names and pull out the ones that are best. You can do all that right here in expireddomains.net. This is much better than what I used to do, which was research domain names through spreadsheets. Really exhausting to deal with. Let me go over to back to GoDaddy's domain names, unless I see something else happening here. In fact, let's go to pending delete. I've talked about the filters a few times, but there's like what you get to do with these filters is, say you're looking for a specific keyword. We have Halloween. You can do a keyword. So here's the domain names. Here are the domain names that start with the keyword Halloween that are going to be deleted over the next, I think it was 8 days. So Halloween costumes, fun, Halloween boo walk. So you can do different filters. Halloween at the beginning of it. It contains a certain keyword, ends with a certain keyword. All of those are options which I like to, in fact, I do have set up in my saved searches up there at the top. I have saved several different keywords that I monitor occasionally. I don't use them very often, but as the guy that owns towing.com, I have one for towing, and I can click on that. It's a saved search. It already has set up to look for the keyword like towing in keywords, and as you can see here, now it pulls it up, and instead of looking at 97,000 domains that were expiring on GoDaddy over the next week, now I'm looking at 24 domain names that have towing, so I can really quickly just come in here, see if anything, emergency towing recovery, nope, garbage, boom, done. Now I just looked at my towing domains. I have some set up for storage as well. Boom. You can check it out. Now we have 92 domain names. We typically look to 200 domain names at a time. Just recently, last time I showed filters, I found campstorage.com, which I like that domain name. Mini Storage Insights. Monthly Self-Storage is probably that domain name. Let's go check it out, actually. Monthly Self-Storage sounds like it's actually it's 3 words. I prefer that third word to be an action word if I'm going to go up to 3 words. But I am guessing we are going to see some. Okay, maybe not. So 31 searches exactly for it. Not a whole lot happening in the middle here. 3 advertisers. Okay, so it's not as good as what I thought, but hey, we quickly could see it. So one of the ways, I'm dealing with, let me just kind of look down through the rest of these before I go off and rant. I am teaching a bunch of 13-year-olds some entrepreneur type stuff. And in that class, one of the key things I talk about that I don't talk about here very often is the idea of whatever it is you're going to work on. If you're going to develop, especially, which we are here to develop domain names, that one of the key components is you. What are you interested in? What are your gifts, your skills? And the thing, like, you is a key piece. So we have a Venn diagram. We have, you on it. What are your interests, your passions, your skills? That's the most important piece of figuring out what you're going to spend your time on. And then you have, problems and then solutions that you can provide, and you're bringing them all together. It's what we talk about in the 3-minute business plan when we do that. But the you piece is way underrated. Like, you are the key component in anything you decide to do. Like, just because you have a great domain name doesn't mean you should develop it. Like, a lot of times there's a debate between should you develop a domain name, should you not? Is development worth it or not? Okay, these are coming off. And here's the thing. If it is in an area that you're passionate about, absolutely develop that bad boy. Like, keep it simple still. Don't go crazy ambitious on it, but develop the domain name. I got into towing because I was already dealing with transportation. I was already dealing with the auto transport industry, and I just kind of took a step away to towing. Like, towing is not my expertise. I don't know anything about it other than what I've picked up over 20 years at this point. But it is very much a matter of, like, what are you interested in? Look for domains in that. And filtering domain names based on keyword is definitely how you do that. So, if you're buying to sell them, then it doesn't really matter. You buy whatever domain name you want to. But if you're looking for domain names in an area that you're interested in, that you already have connections in or a passion about, this is why, well, in fact, I have here, you can see I have cannabis up in there. I was angling towards making sure that I was looking for cannabis domain names. Although I don't really look at that, I can barely spell cannabis, so I kind of don't mess with it very much. But that's how I dug into travel. That's how I got tourguides.com. It's also like bartenders.com. I look for domain names in areas that I'm interested in because the you component of what I'm doing is vital to me. So just keep that in mind. Like, just because it's a great domain name, if it's in a boring industry, consider that in your price. Like medicalcenters.com or medicalcenter.com? If I was to bid on that domain name, I'm not interested in that industry at all. But it will fit with our business model, so I will bid thousands maybe, but I'm not going to get carried away because realistically, I don't really care that much. Like, I'm not a doctor. I don't do this stuff at all. Like, I don't care about that industry. But if you care, like bartenders, I freaking wanted that domain name. I wanted to mess with that industry. That's why I ended up paying like $50,000 or something for it, for a domain name that probably wouldn't buy on retail for less than, probably like a $20,000 domain name. So keep that in mind as you're bidding on things and as you're looking for domain names. Have what you're looking for. I have a set of domain names that I can develop pretty clearly now, which actually, I was going to show you some stuff. Oh, well, I won't mess with it. I mentioned it on Facebook. Actually, what I will show you. Let me summarize real quick. I got up here, myfootwear.com ends in one day. That was one of the ones we looked at. Equiprepair.com. That was one of the bargain ones we looked at. $12 currently, ends in 3 days. Of course, wait to bid. Buyequipment.com and all those buy keyword domains. Those are two-cow domains, so they likely won't go all the way through the auction process. Again, wait till the last 5 minutes or so for that to bid on those. Idealjob.com, we talked about that one, as well as werepair.com. And then we saw Renaissance Fair ended as well. Then we went over to Snap Names. We looked at marketingproject.com, debtbuster.com, and medicalcenter.com are all the domains we saw over on Snap Names pre-release domains. Snap Names came up big for us today, especially after we looked through hundreds of GoDaddy ones and didn't find them. So it is 4 o'clock, but I'll assume that means I have my my peeps that really enjoy this stuff. So let's go. I'll go show you a little bit of what I have happening. Let me see how I can do this. I know you cannot see my screen yet. I will share it here in a moment. Let me get logged into some of our internal systems. I'll show you a little bit of what I've been working on. Not I. When I say I mean we. I usually say we. Fail. I usually say we. It is 100% we. I'm not actually coding this at all, which is such a benefit to me. So here's what we got. This is my test website that I have set up, small business reinforcements. And as you can see, not really anything special happening here. It looks like a website, right? And you can get some, you can look through services here. So when we talked about had multiples of the search traffic, I'm not sure what that 100% was. But so services, but this is a website, CincinnatiTowCompany.com. This website is being built from currently towing.com data. So it is a multi-page website. I got some FAQs in here. So frequently asked questions you can modify. All of this stuff is modified through this here, which is the towing.com. So right now what we've done, so I'm applying this to your domain name. Say you own medicalcenter.com and you run the software that runs towing.com, not available currently, but at someday when we test it all out on our domain names and things, you'll be able to take medicalcenter.com, toss up a towing.com type site on it, and then your visitors, your members on the medical centers would be able to come in and modify their profile and so on to change the actual website, which is what you see over here. So the real magic of what's happening here is, well, one, the domain name up there. It's a secure, an SSL secured domain name, custom domain. We literally type in the domain name. It checks, it tells you what name servers to set it to. Then it's set, and then voila, boom, your website is up and running. And then you can customize it through the portfolio or the tool, like towing.com's dashboard. In the case of towing.com, so I don't know. I think this is pretty stinking fantastic stuff that is being put together by my team here. So the big thing with this is, say you're a small business and you are a towing company, for example, and you're like, hey, I want to tow cars. I don't want to deal with this web stuff. Well, now you'll be able to come to towing.com, register as a member for that as a towing company. You show up on towing.com, the industry portal, the main front door of the towing industry. You show up there, and you also can enter in your domain name, and voila, now you have a website. And instead of needing to do even WordPress, like WordPress is a pain in the butt to a tower, right? They still need to hire a web design company or something. And then, if they want to post a job, for example, they're hiring, they can post a job, and they can post it on towing.com, but if they want it on their website, they still have to go and, type it on their website or whatever. Not anymore. What we've essentially created is a way for people to, hey, I'm a towing company, I'm on towing.com. Boom, I can control my data on towing.com. It shows up on my profile, shows up in a nationwide search on towing.com, and it shows up on my website. It is a one-stop shop using a domain name as a central hub for an entire industry and its different members and local companies. big stuff. Can you see how that works? Like, so think about your main domain names. If you have an industry-defining domain name, where you're going to be able to, turn on this system and use developit.com is what we're building it out. And so bartenders.com, you'll be able to register as a bartender of different various services. You'll be able to show up on bartenders.com for when you search for those things. But most importantly, if you run a small bartending service where you do parties and events and things, chances are you don't want to mess with the freaking website all the time. Same with photobooths.com or weddingphotos.com. You don't want to be an internet marketer. You want to run your own small business, and this internet marketing thing is just a side effect of it. This is going to allow people to essentially concentrate on their main business and have the web stuff all work out. And one last little thing I'll show real quick because I think it's pretty cool. We'll see if what our score today is for Lighthouse. So I don't know if you know it, in your browser you can do a right click, inspect, and there's this Lighthouse tool. Matt's probably like upstairs right now seeing me do this, like, no, don't do this, the scores might suck. But last time I did this, the scores were like all green. So what does that mean? It's exciting because the site is, it meets the requirements of being a quality, accessible website, SEO-friendly website, and so on, which this tool is helpful. We're all yellow as of this point. Oh, you know what? That's because I got that big image back there, Matt, just in case you're wondering. I did that big, this crazy image back there playing around. But anyhow, but we usually have all green, but it like scores you on the different pieces of web design. So something you might want to mess with your website as well. So, okay, that's one of the little things that we're working on that, and the cool thing about this is we're giving that away free to the members, because the cost, we believe, will be between $2 and $4 or less per member. So on towing.com, we charge $99. Assuming everything goes right, we can build that into the cost, so now members will get that. So, I don't know, fun. Big things happening. All centralized on a domain name. So when I come on here in Domain to Profit and I'm like, hey, develop your domain names and stuff, like, I truly believe that, to the point that we are building a system to develop domain names and treat them like a business. So you and others will be able to take your best domain names and turn them into a business with a few clicks. It'll take a little bit of setup, but you'll have it. And then your members will be able to set up websites based on your website. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I ever let you have it or let you use it. It's going to cost you. Maybe. We'll see. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Well, either way, I am Drew Wash. This is Domain to Profit. Hope the last few minutes there were fun for those of you who join me on a weekly basis. Otherwise, well, you just got a sneak peek at some of the stuff that is my day job, the stuff that we spend our time on majority of the time. So this is for fun, Domain to Profit. Me joining you here each week, Monday at 3 p.m. I come here just because I'm going to look through some domain names anyways. Might as well hang out with some peeps that I enjoy and do that. So that's why I'm here. But, we got to put some time in to make sure that we can generate the revenue. That's how I'm able to afford some of these important domain names. So, well, I very much appreciate you all joining me. If you are going to dress up and have fun on Halloween, be safe and enjoy. Happy Halloween. I'm Drew Wash, Domain to Profit. See you next week, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. See you then.